10 things you don't need to spend your money on in 2025. Let's get to it. Hi, Awakening Beauties. In this video, we're going to talk about 10 things you don't need to waste your money on in 2025. Number 1, gym memberships. January is the biggest month for new gym memberships. In fact, about 12% of all new gym memberships happen in the month of January. And we know why. It's a new year. We want to establish new healthy habits. And so we join a gym. But unfortunately, many of us end up not using that gym membership. In fact, around 80% of new gym members end up quitting within 6 months. And while it is important to prioritize your health, there are so many ways that are free that you can do that without joining a gym. Like walking outdoors. This is something that I've been doing for the past few months. I don't like to walk on a treadmill. I think most people don't like to walk on a treadmill. And granted, sometimes you might live in a climate where during these winter months, it's not ideal to be walking outside, but it's not impossible. Bundle up, wear some warm clothes, put on some comfy shoes, get out there and go for a walk. And your body will thank you because you'll be getting sunlight, you'll be breathing fresh air, you'll be connecting with nature. There's so many health benefits besides the benefit itself of just walking by getting outside and walking. Another way that you can get a free workout, and this is something else that I've started doing again, I used to do it in the past and I'm incorporating it now, is working out at a park, at a local park. If you have a park that has a heart trail with a bunch of different exercise stations, you can use your own body weight to do a lot of exercises without any gym equipment, just using your own body weight. And if you need some ideas about that, you can go on to YouTube and Google it. While you're in YouTube, you can search for it about different exercises that you can do using your own body weight. Another way that you can get a good workout is many of us have access to gyms either at our office or we live in a community that has a community gym. I don't happen to live in a community with a gym, but I have a gym at my office building that I utilize. So this is a free resource that many of us can use, and why not take advantage of it? My theory is if I'm not going to use the gym at my office building, that I can literally walk out of work and go and work out without driving somewhere, then am I really going to use a gym that I have to drive 20 to 30 minutes to get to? Probably not. Another great resource is some free apps that are available, such as Nike Training Club, which offers a variety of workouts including yoga, strength training, and mobility exercises. There's an app called G-Fit, which is a gym workout plan tracker. It allows you to create and track your own personalized workout routines. There's another one called Daily Workouts Fitness Coach, offers short daily workouts that target specific muscle groups. So these are all free resources that you can take advantage of, and you don't have to join a gym. Second thing not to spend your money on in 2025 is workout equipment. Now, you're not going to join a gym, but you may be thinking, yeah, but if I just rent a Peloton, I can rent it for what? I don't know how much they rent for, $25 to $50 a month. Well, buying workout equipment is like buying a fancy kitchen gadget thinking it's going to make you into a gourmet chef. If you're not already inclined to work out, having that Peloton sitting in your bedroom, I can guarantee you is not going to be a motivation for you to work out. Instead, it's going to become an expensive clothing rack. And I've never had a Peloton, but I had a treadmill before, and I can tell you that's essentially what happened. Now, if you're a beginner at working out and you do want to start improving your strength and flexibility and all of that, then there might be a basic equipment that you might want to invest in, like a nice yoga mat, maybe some resistance bands. But for the most part, you can do a lot of exercises and get a great workout by just using your own body weight, especially if you're a beginner. You don't need to buy a lot of exercise equipment. You might use it for a few weeks, but in the end, it's just gonna sit and not get used. I can tell you from experience that most of the equipment that I've ever bought has sadly not been used to its fullest potential. Don't waste the money, save your money, and maybe instead pay a personal trainer to come and help you figure out some routines and work with you on your form. That's a better way to invest your money. The third thing not to waste your money on in 2025 are books and magazine subscriptions. A lot of people don't have magazine subscriptions these days, but a lot of us love to buy books. But this year I'm determined that even though for the past 2 years I haven't bought very many books, I've only bought a couple of books in fact in the last 2 years, but you can easily spend a lot of money on buying books and they just collect and create clutter. And you guys, there's a free way to read books. Your local library. Your local library is really a wonderful resource for not only books, but you can rent audiobooks, you can read the local newspaper oftentimes. They have subscriptions to magazines. They have access to high quality arts and crafts on-demand classes that you can rent and watch. There's so many resources at your local library that you should really look into taking advantage of. I'm just saying, that's one thing in 2025. Go explore your local library. Fourth thing not to spend your money on in 2025 are new skincare devices or hairstyling tools. I know, I'm like you. I watch an influencer talk about a certain hairstyling tool and I think it's going to change my life. I'm going to have the most perfect hair days. This is what I have always needed. And although I do love my Lange styler that I bought last year, it's a flat iron styler and I won't be without it. Any other devices that I see out there on the market that people are talking about, first of all, I don't think it's going to work for my particular hair. I have to become realistic. I look at what their hair looks like, the texture, the thickness. I have very fine hair. Most of those styling tools really aren't going to work on my hair. And for the longest time, I was obsessed with wanting the Dyson Airwrap. And at $600, I can tell you that my curling iron will do just as good of a job as the Dyson Airwrap and maybe a better job. And I'm not wasting my money on that. Now, I have talked multiple times about the Nira Laser Pro, which is an at-home laser treatment that you can use on your skin. And I stand behind that. I really believe that it has improved the texture of my skin. It has reduced fine lines, all that stuff. If you want to watch those videos, feel free. I will link them below. But guys, you don't need a ton of skincare devices. I know, I'm like you. I watch these influencers and I look at how great their skin looks, and a lot of times they're much younger than me. I'm 52 and they're sometimes a lot younger than me. But I just know that like the expectation that I have of how it's gonna change my life is not realistic, and that there's a lot of things that I can do at home that are very inexpensive, including eating healthfully and using nice but not expensive skincare products. You don't have to use a ton of different skincare products to have nice skin. I'm just saying. And I know I make beauty content. I have promoted certain products myself in some of my videos, but I also know that there were times in my life where I really didn't have a lot of money and I was still able to achieve really nice looking skin using very inexpensive products. I just want you to know that in 2025, it's okay not to spend a lot of money on skincare devices and on hair tools. They're not going to change your life as much as you think or hope that they will. Now, full disclosure, my husband did buy me an Omnilux mask for Christmas, and I'm testing it out, and I will let you know in an upcoming video whether it was worth it or not. I still am on the fence, but I will let you know. I will let you know in an upcoming video. But guys, you don't need one. You don't need one. I didn't need one. I wanted one, but but I didn't need one. And in 2025, I don't want to be sucked in to believing the hype about any product being a game changer. And that leads me to number 5, fifth thing we're not spending money on in 2025. And that's any product that you think is going to change your life. And that goes for the next big thing in supplements. Every year there's a new supplement that you got to use that's going to take away your belly fat. Every year there's a new weight loss program. It's going to be the thing that takes off those stubborn pounds and require little effort or time on your side. You just haven't been told yet the things to do. The thing is, we know what to do. For the most part, we know the things that are healthy for us and the things that aren't healthy for us. Like, you already do know. If you listen to your body and if you do just a little bit of research out there, you know that there are foods that cause inflammation, that cause us to gain weight. And the thing is, like, when it comes to especially like weight loss, we know it takes work. Thus the term working out. There's no magic pill. There's just no magic pill. And anybody that's telling you basically that there is lying to you. There is no magic pill. Anything that we want to accomplish in our life is going to take work, dedication, commitment, time, and consistency. So don't be fooled. There's no product out there, whether it's for your weight or for your skin, that is going to be a magic bullet and change your life with no effort on your part. All you gotta do is take this product. It's not gonna be like that. Don't be fooled. Don't waste your money. The number 6 thing to not waste your money on is any product that is for the fantasy self. So this is similar to to the last thing that we were talking about, but is more of something that doesn't fit into your lifestyle, but it's who you aspire to be. And listen, I'm all for self-improvement. I'm all for up-leveling our appearance in ways that we can, whether it's improving the way that we apply our makeup, wearing clothes that flatter our figure. But like, especially when it comes to fashion, you know, the clothes and the shoes and accessories that you're really not going to wear. Like for me, I'm not going to wear stilettos. It is impractical for my lifestyle. It's uncomfortable. At my age of 52, I am not about to be wearing stilettos pretty much anywhere. And every fall, I think, I want a beautiful trench coat. I see these influencers that do their fall wardrobe haul, and you know, they elevate their style by investing in a trench coat. I live in South Florida. I ain't freaking wearing a trench coat anywhere. Now, you may live in a place where a trench coat actually comes in very handy, and it might be a good investment for you. But to me, that's my fantasy self. I don't live in an area that I would ever wear something like that. So in 2025, we're not wasting our money on trying to attain to some fantasy self. We are going to be realistic and practical about what our actual needs are for our wardrobe. This also comes into play when it comes to makeup, because I love makeup. If you've been watching my channel, you know I like to do a lot of get ready with me's because I love to play with makeup. But there's only so much makeup that you can actually wear. And there's palettes out there that are really gorgeous, but they're not for me. They are a fantasy self of me. Listen, I love lip liners. I have way too many lip liners. I just counted my lip liners. I have 28. I have 28 lip liners. That means I have one for every day of the month. And how long is it going to take me to get through 28 lip liners? It's not going to happen. It's ridiculous. I do need to do a makeup declutter. But every time I buy something that isn't like a replacement, I know I'm buying for the fantasy self. I'm buying for the fantasy Robin of the makeup look I'm trying to attain to. And probably because I saw some beautiful influencer demonstrating that product. And I'm never going to look like them. And I must accept it. So we're not spending money in 2025 on anything that is not practical and just trying to fulfill some fantasy self. Seventh thing not to waste your money on in 2025 is the latest fashion trends. Constantly trying to follow the latest fashion trends can overshadow your own individuality. And by not adhering to all the trends that come and go, you can actually develop your own personal style. I made videos about this last year about trying to find my own personal style and giving tips to you guys on how to find your personal style. By doing this, you stand out as different and authentic. You don't waste money on items that you're only gonna wear a couple of times and then they're just gonna sit in your closet and ultimately be donated after just a couple of wears. This also avoids a lot of waste, which we know in this day and age that more and more we're thinking about sustainability. So fast fashion and just trying to follow all of the trends that aren't unique to you, may not flatter you. Ultimately, it's just a waste of money. The eighth thing that we're not spending money on in 2025 are buying things just because they're on sale. Sometimes we think, well, that's a good value. It's on sale. Why not? And I have found myself sucked into this when Ulta has had sales, when Sephora has their sale, when Nordstrom has their annual sale. And in Amazon, sometimes you think, oh, that's something I'm interested in and it's on sale. Why not? I'll just throw it into my cart. Just because something is on sale doesn't make it a good value if it's not something that you're actually going to use. Instead, save your money for things that you know that you really want. Delay the gratification to get things that you truly do want, that you know that you'll love for a long time. I've sort of had an unwritten rule that any furniture that I bring into my house, any decorating that I do in my home, that I don't buy things just to fill a space. Instead, I cautiously and carefully chose all of the furniture items that I have in my home have been carefully selected, all the decorating items. I want to bring things into my home that have a meaning for me. Like I prefer to find a painting or a beautiful piece of pottery while I'm on a trip somewhere. I've got beautiful pieces from Italy, from Egypt, from all over the world. I have some beautiful pottery that we actually use. That's sort of been my unwritten rule for many, many years, that I won't just buy furniture or decorative items to decorate a space, to fill a space. I try to always buy things that actually mean something to me, that will remind me of where I was when I got it. I'll wait until I find the right thing, and sometimes I can get it on sale, but I don't always wait until it goes on sale. I wait until I find the thing that I actually love. So don't buy things just because they're on sale. It might just be a waste of money. The ninth thing not to spend your money on in 2025 is duplicate items. Sometimes we think if one is good, two is better. But it's just not true, because buying duplicates of things just increases clutter. Taking up unnecessary space when it comes to clothes is taking up unnecessary space in your wardrobe. It often means spending money on clothes you don't actually even need. And those funds could be used to buy better quality items that will stand the test of time, that will last longer in your wardrobe. And having a cluttered wardrobe makes it harder to find something to wear, because it can feel very overwhelming and hard to manage and to put together outfits when we have too many things. It also limits the variety within your wardrobe if you have multiples of the same thing, leaving your wardrobe to lack diversity and interest, and you can start to feel very bored with your wardrobe if you have just duplicate multiple items that are the same. So having duplicates, and I've found myself with this when I've bought duplicates, that a lot of times I don't wear the duplicate item. That I'm like, well, I won't wear that until, I'm just going to keep it just in case. And tags have remained on them, and I've never gotten around to wearing them. And so, it actually leads to sort of decision fatigue within your wardrobe, that you have too many things, but yet you don't have enough variety in a way. So don't buy duplicate items. And I mean, I know I'm guilty of this with shoes, that I'll buy multiples, and like if I find a shoe that fits, I'll buy it in like 3 different colorways. That's because I have a women's size 4 shoe and it's hard for me to find shoes. But I have found, even this past year, I bought, there were a couple of different pairs of shoes that I bought in multiple colorways, and I ended up not wearing some of the other colorways, and I was like, why did I even buy this colorway? I regretted it. I had buyer's remorse. And so for 2025, just keep this in the back of your head. No more duplicates. And when it comes to even things like in your kitchen, like if you have multiples of, let's just say, kitchen shears, it makes it harder to keep track of multiples than if you just have one. If you just have one, it's easier to keep track of. Do yourself a favor this year and don't buy duplicates. And that goes for backups too. I didn't really have this on the list, but don't buy backups of especially skincare products just because Amazon is having a sale or Sephora is having a sale. I have found myself buying backups of skincare products, and by the time I finally ran out of my product, because it takes a long time to go through skincare products. I mean, for me, it takes me a while. I'm very conservative in how I use my products. And there have been times that I got to the end of it and I was just like, would I repurchase this now? No, I want to try XYZ product. I'm not in love with this product as much as I was before. So don't buy backups of products. In my mind, that means that's a duplicate. You're buying a duplicate of a product by buying backups. Don't buy backups unless it's things that you go through really quickly and you know it's tried and true, a love that you have of a certain product like a mascara, and you know that every 3 months you need to replace your mascara. Other than that, I would say just don't do it. Even if it's on sale, because if you end up not really loving it and then not using it and buying something else instead and thinking, all right, well, I'm going to buy something else and I'll use that product after I finish this one. And then you may never get back to it. So you've just wasted so much money. The 10th thing not to spend your money on in 2025 are impulse buys. According to a recent survey, Americans spend about $151 per month on impulse buys, which is actually down from several years ago. But we're still, and I think people weren't being honest in that, because they may not be taking into consideration all the times they can see an ad on YouTube, on TikTok, and they click the buy now. I think people are not being honest when it comes to their impulse buys, for the fact that they say it's gone down in the past few years. Because I think impulse buys have gone up because of these platforms. But that's just my humble opinion. But either way, even if it's only $151 a month, that's over $1,800 per year. So there are so many marketing tactics that are used to sort of create a sense of urgency and encourage us to impulse buy. So by resisting impulse buying, you can stay in control of your finances. You can stay in control of external pressures and your response to them, and build better financial habits. People are not saving. People are not saving the way that they need to be saving. This has become so apparent to me as I'm now in my 50s and I think about all the money that I wasted over the past 30 years on impulse buys, on things that I didn't need, when I could have been investing further into my future. And I did a little math about this, and $150 a year, or $150 a month rather, over the course of 30 years at an average rate of return of, let's just say, 8% if you're investing in certain mutual funds, will potentially accumulate to about $100,000. And you need a lot more than that to retire. But just think, those little impulse buys over the course of a month, $150 is very easy to spend on impulse buys. Just standing in the checkout at the grocery store and grabbing a couple of little things can add up over time. And when you think about it, I can't even remember the things that I impulsively bought over the years. They're nowhere to be seen. And $150 a month over a course of a year is $1,800. That is a nice vacation, or like we said, contributing to retirement. So just think of the actual cost of that impulse buy. The actual cost is not having control over your own impulses and being manipulated really by marketing. And it's also costing us the price of not having those life experiences that we could save for to go on a trip abroad somewhere, that we're going to have those memories for the rest of our lives. Or in the longer run, it could cost us the ability to be able to retire at the age that we want to, and thus having to work for more years and doing things that we wish that we weren't having to do. So what do you think? What are the things that you're not going to be spending money on in 2025? Leave them in the comments below, because I know there's a lot more that I could have gotten into, but to me, these were the top 10 most important things not to spend my money on in 2025. And as many of you will know, if you followed me for the past couple of years, in 2023, I did a no-buy year. And right now, I'm pretty much on a no-buy for several months. So what do you think? Are there things that we need to add to this list that you think we should not be spending our money on in 2025? Leave them in the comments below. I'd love to hear what things you're not spending money on this year. Well, thanks for joining me. I appreciate it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And until next time, you're doing great.